What is up, YouTube people? It's your boy Patty McNinja, and we're getting our Friday video a few days early because Nintendo decided to drop the first trailer for their upcoming animated Super Mario Bros. Film a couple of days ago, and I didn't want to wait until Friday to talk about it. So without further ado, let's rock. All right, before we get to the actual trailer, if you weren't aware that this movie was even coming out, they did have a whole, albeit short, Nintendo Direct discussing this movie. So I do want to go through a few details before we get to the actual trailer. This is a joint effort between Nintendo and Illumination Studios, which, first of all, that's my first clue that this movie is going to at least, at the very, very least, look awesome. Because this studio did the Despicable Me, the Minions, the Sing movies, which I haven't seen the Sing movies, but they look great. And that's the biggest thing for me, is I know at the very least this movie is gonna at least look good. So we did find a release date. It's gonna be April 7th, 2023. So it's kind of right around the corner. Luckily, I'll see this movie right before my wife and I are gonna go to Jamaica, so it won't be that same week. So I'll be able to see this. My wife and I will go see this in the theaters the day that it comes out. So I'm definitely excited about that. But the big thing that they announced a couple of months ago in Twitter, as Twitter does, they had some thoughts, is regarding the cast. So let's get into that. All right, so first of all, you have Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, which she's a phenomenal actress. So I don't know how much voice acting she's done. I think she was in the Dark Crystal Netflix series, but she's a phenomenal actress who's most well known for like Queen's Gambit or Last Night in Soho. So I know she's gonna kill this because she's a fantastic actress. And then you have Charlie Day as Luigi, which I'm excited for just because I'm a huge Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny fan, but also because he kind of has a unique voice and he has a unique cadence to his voice that I think is gonna go well for Luigi. And then what I'm really, really excited for is Jack Black as Bowser. First of all, huge Jack Black fan. I think he's a phenomenal actor, especially comedic actor, but he just seems like just a cool dude, and I want to root for people like that. And I think that he's gonna kill it as Bowser. And it's weird, this is just an added bonus for me personally, it probably won't mean much to anybody out there, but I remember my sister and I used to play a ton of Donkey Kong Country growing up on the Super Nintendo, and we always used to listen to Tenacious D, Jack Black's band, their self-titled album while we were playing Donkey Kong. So anytime like Wonder Boy comes up on my Spotify, I always think of Donkey Kong Country. Now, of course, he's playing Bowser. He isn't playing Donkey Kong, which we will get to here in a second. There is somebody pretty well known playing Donkey Kong in this movie. So we'll get to that here in a second, but it's just kind of an added bonus for me. I'm really excited to see how he plays Bowser. So moving on, we have Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, which I think he's gonna do well because obviously he's a great actor and he was in the sketch show, his own sketch show, Key and Peele, for so long. He did so many great impressions and voices, so I know he'll do it well. But Toad has such a unique and like nasally high-pitched voice, so Keegan-Michael Key is obviously gonna have to do a voice for this character. So I talked about Donkey Kong a little bit earlier with Jack Black and kind of my personal connection with Donkey Kong and Jack Black, but we hadn't gotten to who actually playing Donkey Kong, and that's Seth Rogen, which I am very nervous about. I think Seth Rogen's a great actor. He seems like a phenomenal dude. So again, I want to root for those type of people, but he definitely has a unique voice. And if you've listened to my podcast, The Nerd You're Looking For, you know that one thing that I really look for with voice performances is, especially when it's a famous person that I'm very familiar with their voice, which is obviously the case with Seth Rogen, I want to be immersed in this movie. And if I'm just hearing Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I'm going to be very, very distracted. So that would be my biggest concern. And then finally, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, which, I mean, Fred Armisen, he's done so many impressions on SNL and Portlandia that obviously he's going to do a fantastic Cranky Kong. I just am excited that Cranky Kong's even in this movie. I would have never guessed that he would make the cut for this movie. So that's the whole cast. of course, I'm kidding. We're gonna talk about the big casting news, and I kind of buried the lead on purpose, and that is Chris Pratt as Mario. And I know that Twitter basically rioted when we heard that Chris Pratt was going to be in this movie, and I think that the internet doesn't like Chris Pratt for a lot of reasons that we're not going to get into in this particular video. But I think most of it has to do with the fact that he gets cast as everything. He's definitely oversaturated the market. I do think that he's a good actor. I think that he has a great comedic timing to him. I mean, he was fantastic as Andy Dwyer in Parks and Rec, and Parks and Rec is one of my favorite shows of all time. So I'm definitely a fan, but I do see him a lot. He does get cast in everything. And even when he doesn't get cast in things, a lot of times he was rumored to be cast as in a particular movie. So we do see him a lot. And also, Mario has a unique voice, and can Chris Pratt do that voice? Or are we just gonna, like I was talking about with Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, are we just gonna hear Chris Pratt the entire time, which would be very, very disappointing. So I'm very nervous. And this isn't the Donkey Kong movie. This is the Mario Bros movie. So Chris Pratt is gonna be front and center as Mario in this movie. If Seth Rogen just sounds like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I don't know that Donkey Kong's gonna be in this movie that much. But this is a Mario Bros movie. Mario is gonna be front and center. So if Chris Pratt can't kill it, then we're in for a long movie. All right, so I got the trailer pulled up, and let's jump right into it. First off, as I mentioned with the studio, it looks really, really cool. I mean, you kind of expect that. It kind of reminds me of the aesthetic of that Bowser game that we got last year. That Bowser's Fury. Just the overall tone of the beginning of this. I don't know if that's what they were going for, because that game just came out last year.
Behold, the king of the Koopas!
And the Koopas look awesome. There's the man himself, Bowser, which I'm sure we're gonna get the voice here in a second, but he does look really badass. This looks so good.
Open the gates!
I didn't hear Jack Black in that at all, so that's awesome. And then you have the cute penguins. This is awesome so far. That's cool. I like that. Like, it's been kind of pretty hardcore so far, and then they had to mix in some comedy. I definitely dig that a lot. And the juxtaposition of...
I do not.
Oh man, I'm sorry, I kind of interrupted myself, but that laugh from Jack Black is so cool. But the juxtaposition of
I finally found it.
Of how cute the penguins are and how badass this looks is awesome. And then of course you get the Mario theme, so it's obviously a very well put together trailer. But I think we're gonna hear Chris Pratt as Mario. Hopefully that's not the only thing that we get. I doubt that would be it.
What is this place?
That's just Chris Pratt. Oh my god.
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on,
He nailed it. I mean, Chris Pratt did not nail it. That's just Chris Pratt, and that's disgusting. But he's not even trying to do a voice. But Keegan-Michael Key as Toad is, mwah, he's so good. And then of course you get the cast list right here. There's so many good people in this movie. Oh, I was kind of pausing to see if we were gonna get anything from Luigi. You kind of get a little bit. You can hear Charlie Day a little bit in there. But yeah, man, Chris Pratt as Mario, it does not look good so far. So there you have it. That is my reaction to the Super Mario Bros. Trailer. So not to beat a dead horse, because I already kind of talked about it in the actual reaction part of this video, but I mean, Chris Pratt's not even trying to do a voice. But outside of that, I think I'm pretty excited. The animation looks great. The studio definitely killed it as far as at least the trailer is concerned. It does have the blend between kind of a metal intro to the trailer, and then they bring in the cute penguins and they bring in the comedy, and it's actually pretty funny. And then of course Jack Black is absolutely crushing it as Bowser. I don't really hear that much Jack Black. It does sound a bit like his voice is being produced, but it makes sense given the character that he's playing. So I'm definitely excited about that. Keegan-Michael Key, once we see him in Mushroom Kingdom, I thought does an absolute perfect Toad. So I'm definitely excited about that. But I mean, it's all going to come down to Chris Pratt. And so far, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but after that trailer, it's really, really tough to give him the benefit of the doubt. It just sounds like Chris Pratt. Like, it's 90% Chris Pratt and maybe 10% of him trying to do a voice, and that might be generous. So overall, my biggest question wasn't really answered in this trailer. It was kind of confirmed. My suspicions were kind of confirmed after that trailer, which is disappointing. But those are just my opinions on the trailer. If you have different opinions or if you agree with me, I would love to hear it in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, smash the like button, as the kids say. Consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, definitely ding that bell. That way you get notifications every time I post a video. I try to post gaming related content every Friday. This will probably be my Friday video for this week, even though I'm putting it out a few days early. But like I said in the intro, I just really wanted to talk about this trailer. I didn't want to wait until Friday to do it. So if you like this content, definitely consider subscribing and dinging that bell. But until next week, take it easy, guys. What's up, YouTube people? It's your boy Patty McNinja, and this is my boy Yoshi, aka Kitty Boy. And we were just talking, and we agree that since you made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe. You wouldn't want to disappoint Kitty Boy, would you?